Paul's been telling us to walk by the Spirit and not according to the flesh. And in the following verses, he is going to lay out what that looks like. First, by explaining the works of the flesh before explaining the fruit of the Spirit. And Paul says that the works of the flesh are evident. We can recognize sin because it's contrary to God's character. And we know God's character because he has revealed it to us, both in nature and in his word. And the first three sins that Paul mentions are all sexual sins: sexual immorality, impurity, and sensuality. And these works of the flesh encompass a wide range of sexual sin, all of which violate what God created to be good and holy and distort it to fulfill human passions. And it isn't difficult to see how pervasive these types of sin are in our own culture. But honestly, if you take a look at the Old Testament and the New Testament, it doesn't take long to realize that this has always been an issue. We shouldn't just look to our culture, though, to find examples of this kind of sexual sin. We need to look to our own hearts. Where do you struggle in this area? Maybe it's lust, whether that means that you have inappropriate feelings of desire for someone else, or that you wish that someone else would desire you in that kind of way. Maybe it's pornography. Maybe it's sex outside of marriage, or maybe it's pushing boundaries, trying to go as far as you can without crossing a technical line, but still seeking to fulfill your own sinful passions. Maybe it's something else, but whatever it is, we are called to walk by the Spirit, not by the flesh, and we are empowered by the Holy Spirit to do just that. You know, as we look at the works of the flesh that are contrary to the Spirit, it's fitting that the list would begin with sexual sin. In 1 Corinthians chapter 6, Paul explains that sexual immorality is a sin against our own bodies, and our bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit. As temples of the Holy Spirit, that is the place where he dwells. We not only have the obligation to glorify God in our bodies, but the ability to do so by the Spirit who is within us.